believe that running my own businesses and raising a family here in Addington Highlands has given me an important insight into the challenges of all area people. For the trustees, I ran school bus for 30 years. Township Council must continue to support local businesses. When they prosper, they will expand and produce more jobs and prosperity for the entire community. The AHEAD Committee, Addington Highlands Economic Advisors for Development, has provided a forum for any business-oriented ideas for development and will continue to provide input. The new council must revise the entire permit system to ensure that we are not inhibiting growth.
I'm Gerald Gray. I've been introduced to this area since 1967. A friend brought me up here and we fell in love with the area. And I worked at General Motors in Oshawa for 30 years. I was a group leader for 30 years. I was also, I worked with United Way for the 30 years doing fundraisings, and this is one of my real fun way to go to make money. I did it for quite a few years, and when Sick Kids Hospital was one of the best fundraising schemes that I've worked with, and we've made over $500,000 for 6 kids. And we have a plaque in their hospital to prove that we did that from the Oshawa truck plant. And I was always involved in things.
And I've lived in this area all my life, and that's longer than I really want to tell you about. But I'm retired from work of 34 years, and I lived here and raised my family. They're shovels here.
Oh, yeah.
And I was on council for over 20 years, so I have some experience with how council operates. And I also have a few issues that I would like to address if I...
Good evening. I'm Tony Fritsch. Just want to thank everyone for taking the time to come here tonight, and certainly Jeff for organizing it. I'm running for a councillor position because I have a strong personal and loyal attachment to the area, and I really want to help our community in whatever way I'm able to. And I see the councillor position as just one of those ways. So, because I've been on council for 4 years, we all might wonder what it has taught me. And some of it I'll repeat and some of it I won't. I certainly have a much better understanding of the workings of the township, and I think anyone who's ever been on council, they realize that very quickly.
You bring forward to me seriously, and we'll do my best to investigate it and bring it back to you. The other thing that I want to do is also to make sure that we're all informed on what's coming up on the council meetings and stuff, what's going to take place in that before it actually has happened. I find my biggest struggle with the council right now is that lack of communication, of knowing what is going on, what can we do about it before it's already done. And if you elect me, I promise I will do my best to serve you as your...
I thought I knew everybody in Denbigh, but obviously I don't, so I'll just give you a brief history of myself. I worked for 29 years now prior, and I retired last November, but I've been in this area for my whole life. My wife comes from this area. We've been here every weekend probably since we moved away 32 years ago or whatever, but anyways, we're back now and retired. And since I have time, and I've had people approach me and ask me about different problems, different questions, and what can you do? And I said, well, you know, run for council. So I said, well, we're going to give it a try and see what we can do. I'm level-headed. You can talk to me. Anybody has a problem for me. There's not an issue that cannot be brought up at council at any time.
I guess
Thank you very much.
From everyone, would you be willing to work with the Citizens Committee in the event, and I think the event is probable, in the next term that County Council will again take up the ambulance thing and possibly remove our ambulance. So would you as members of council be willing to work with the Citizens Committee in Ward 1? Ward 2 doesn't need this because Ward 2 has their own ambulance, and when they don't have their own ambulance, they have our ambulance. So Ward 1 in particular, would you be willing to work with the Citizens Committee to consider alternatives and work towards ambulance?
As we all get older, and some of us retire here, the first thing you do is you put money into your residence, or you build a new residence, or new people come and build. That is a big cash cow to our township in both taxes and in bringing people in to spend money. One of the things that people look for when they go to retire here, as myself and most of you have all done, is first responders. The fire department, the ambulance. Yes, we need the doctors for sure. But if you have a heart attack, you need those first responders. And if we give that away, the people looking to retire here who want to upgrade their prices, boost the tax base, aren't coming. So my point is where do we as a group, as elected officials, stand in protecting and improving our first responders to in fact court and bring the retired people in here? Because if you look, that's where all the growth is. Look at the building centers. There's money there. They employ people.
If there's an ambulance being cut out, it's Denbigh is gone. Whether you want to leave it or not. And that the ambulance is going to go up and stay in Northbrook. I don't care what you say, but you have to check the facts. You have been given the kiss of death, and I'll explain to you why. If you go to Northbrook this evening, tomorrow morning, you will see an ambulance building on the right-hand side of the road, right across from the ministry buildings. Now, we have two people up here on council, we have two people on the other end on council, and we have the ring. He makes the final decision. What I want to know is, who voted for that? And was it a 5-0 vote?
Who voted for what?
For the ambulance to be built up there, the ambulance building to be built in Northbrook.
Well, I don't think, it wasn't the council, it was the county. It wasn't this council that did, so am I wrong, or?
Some of you have been on council for many years, and I'd like to know your 4 or 5-year plan to introduce more industry into this area, to invite families to come into this area, buy housing. There's lots of real estate that is up for sale, empty houses. What are you going to do to draw people into this area by industry or jobs creation? I'd like to hear that.
Business is hard to establish here because it would have to be a small business. But money, taxation, is what we need because we have one big thing to offer, and that is land. But my understanding is that Queen's Park is telling us you cannot extend your roads on the given point. Am I correct? Like you're allowed to open new road allowances so far. Is that correct? And well, I guess I'm supposed to wait for the answer after.
Well, what is the question that you...
So, did you say, what's the question?
Yeah.
Well, if there's a property over here, and we hope to develop, someone hopes to develop it, if Queen's Park tells us that in our official plan, we can only develop so much road allowance, how can you develop this piece of property?
Right.
Secondly, they have really pushed hard to have no strip development. So what I'm saying is, Queen's Park is basically telling us, we don't want you to develop anything up here. So my question would be, what are you going to do as individual councillors, if you're in power, to tell Queen's Park to get real and let us run our own business?
Surveys they did get rid of our ambulance, cost $500,000 a piece. Why didn't county council use their head a little bit, say, all right, once we get rid of 500, the next 500,000 spent to get rid of the dead wood in that office? Because they ain't worth the time it takes to say the name. And for the last 2 terms of council, we were told that we're going to open the dump. What's the time frame that we're going to have to get the dump open? And the last council, when they went in, there were some promises made, they were gonna do Bridge Street. I think they put a couple shovelfuls of asphalt on, that ain't redoing it. What's going on?
It's long overdue, having a website, because where I live out in the flats. You don't know from one month to another what's going on in the township. And it's pretty bad if I have to go up to Clinton, spend say $20 on gas to find out. So this way, I find out by going on the computer. But anyhow, I'm not going to hold the line. I want to talk to Ethan and Henry, but I'll let somebody else get talking right now.
That we have meetings like this, we have an opportunity to look at you people and talk to you, ask questions, hear what you have to say. Then we go up and vote for you, and off you go and you do your thing. And I guess we can become part of a delegation and go and sit in front of you again and make our point, and then there's no discussion, no room for discussion, and then you go away and do your thing. And so I think there should be some kind of, I really do feel that there's a lack of engagement between the council and we the people. And I want to know if you agree that this is so, and if so, what you prepare to do about it.
Are any of you prepared to do about the two wild dogs that have been terrorizing the residents of St. Falls and Clear Lake? We still cannot tie our dogs outside for fear that these two are going to come back and attack them again. And I believe you've already lost one dog to these dogs. What are you prepared to do about them? They have already, yes, we have talked to Eric Sheppy. I have 9 signed statements. Well, he's the only one that will listen.
No,
I have
Well,
9 signed statements from people of Slate Falls and Clear Lake Road that will verify that they have seen these 2 animals attack their pets. I have a King Shepherd. He's old and he's feeble, and those 2 dogs came and attacked him. And if I hadn't been out there, then he would have died.
If I may say something, I look after the Banackerway site. Before we worry about getting Denbigh open, we better start worrying about looking after Banacker a little bit. If some of our councillors go down and take a drive and look at it right now, you would see what I mean.
I have a question about cell phone service. When our hydrant goes off, when it usually does every once in a while, your house phone, it won't work. So you take your cell phone and you go up on a hill, you stand on a cow patty next to an old car, you put your one foot leaning on a tree, and you can get cell phone service. So I call Hydro, tell them that my hydro is off. Meanwhile, they want to call you back in half an hour, and I'm not sure I can hold that position for half an hour. So I'm just saying, when I don't have cell phone service in my house, but it can be supplied to my barn, there's something wrong with the technology, and you talk about getting people here to build. They can't have little glitches where they step outside that door and all of a sudden they have nothing. And you see people all over the road like trying to do business and pull off on the road. And maybe build a coffee house, I guess, where people could have internet access, clear internet access. But as far as local people relying on their cell phones here yet, they have missed it. I can't afford to pay $2,000 a year probably for high-speed internet. So I finally let my dial-up go, so I'm going through that with you all. If you don't get an email.
Oh, it's always